The sound of the glass shattering was louder than it should have been. Maybe because in that pristine, sterile office, every noise seemed like a confession. Elena froze mid-bite, the fork still trembling in her hand. A few grains of rice clung stubbornly to the edge of her lip. The billionaire, Daniel Holt, towered above her, his tailored suit a study in precision, his eyes sharp as razors. "What," he said, voice low and deliberate, "are you doing?" Her stomach clenched. I just hadn't eaten all day, Mr. Holt." The meeting ran. "You're eating," he interrupted, stepping closer. "At your desk. During work hours. In my office." His tone was cold enough to strip the room of warmth. She set the fork down carefully, the metal clinking against the porcelain. "I'm sorry. It won't happen again." "No," he said. "It won't." For a long moment, silence sat between them, thick and awkward. Then he turned, his polished shoes slicing across the marble floor. "You're fired." The word hit her harder than she expected, like an invisible slap. She blinked once, twice, then stood, the legs of her chair scraping softly. "Please, Mr. Holt, I need this job." He didn't stop walking. Didn't look back. Just pressed the elevator button and vanished behind the silver doors. That should have been the end. But it wasn't. Daniel stayed late that night, pacing in his office, the city glittering below like a sprawl of diamonds scattered over darkness. He told himself he'd done the right thing. Rules were rules. Discipline defined success. So why did he keep hearing her voice? The soft stammer, the quiet dignity beneath desperation. He glanced toward her empty desk through the glass wall. The remnants of her lunch were still there, a small container, a photo beside it of her and an older woman. Her mother, maybe. Something in him itched. Guilt, or curiosity. Maybe both. He told himself it was just to ensure she cleared her belongings properly. But when he walked to her desk, he saw her phone buzzing softly against the table. Incoming call, Mom Red Heart Hash. He shouldn't have answered it. He knew that. But he did. "Sweetheart," came a frail voice. "How was work today?" He opened his mouth, then froze. He didn't speak. Just listened. And in the silence, the voice continued softly, almost apologetically. "You didn't forget your insulin again, did you? You can't skip meals, darling. The doctor said." Daniel's breath caught. The rice. The eating. The tremor in her hands. He ended the call before he could hear more. The shame crawled up his spine, prickling hot and merciless. He stood there, phone still in hand, realizing he'd punished her not for disobedience, but for survival. And then he heard something else. Her voice, faint, muffled, coming from the corridor outside. She'd come back. He moved to the door quietly, listening through the crack. "Yeah, Mom." Elena's voice was trembling now. "He fired me. Said I disrespected him. I didn't even get to explain." A pause. A shaky breath. "No, it's okay. I'll figure something out. Maybe sell the car. The treatment, it can't wait another month." His chest constricted. Treatment. Daniel gripped the doorknob but didn't turn it. His pulse thundered in his ears. He wanted to storm out, to apologize, to fix what he'd broken. But guilt kept him frozen. Guilt, and something darker. Because beneath his remorse, something twisted quietly. Curiosity. Who was she really? Why had she hidden her illness? What else had she hidden? The next morning, he found himself at her apartment. He told himself it was to make amends, to offer her job back, compensation, anything. But when the door opened, he saw a man there instead. Early 30s. Shirt half buttoned. "Can I help you?" the man asked, wary but confident. Daniel's voice faltered. "I'm looking for Elena Ward." "She's not here," the man replied too quickly. Daniel's eyes narrowed. Behind the man, a mug sat on the counter. One of the custom Holt Industries mugs only employees received. Next to it, Elena's scarf, the same one she'd worn to work every day. "Who are you?" Daniel asked. The man hesitated. "A friend." But Daniel wasn't convinced. The air was thick with something unspoken, something that smelled like betrayal. He turned to leave but stopped halfway down the hall when he heard a sound from inside. A soft, familiar voice. "James, did he go?" Daniel froze. Elena's voice. So she was there. Hiding. And James. He knew that name. James Cole, his business partner. The man he'd trusted for years. The man who'd told him to let go of dead weight when he'd mentioned firing Elena. He backed away slowly, his mind spinning, stomach twisting into knots. Pieces began to fit together in ways that made him sick. That evening, Elena showed up at his office. She looked nervous, fragile but determined. "Mr. Holt," she began softly, "I just wanted to thank you for calling earlier. My mom told me someone from your company reached out." "I wanted to apologize," he said, his voice brittle. "I made a mistake." She nodded, eyes downcast. "We all do." There was something restrained in her tone, something like guilt. He studied her carefully. "Is James Cole helping you now?" Her eyes flicked up sharply. "What?" "He's been to your apartment." She flinched, lips parting. You followed me." The accusation cut through him, but he didn't deny it. "I wanted to understand." Her composure cracked. "You don't get to understand. You humiliated me. You destroyed everything I worked for. And now you think you can just fix it." She turned to leave, but he stopped her with one word. "James." She froze. "I know about you too," he said quietly. "How long?" For a heartbeat, she didn't move. Then she exhaled, slow, trembling. "Since before I was hired." His throat went dry. "He planted you." She didn't deny it. Her eyes met his, shimmering with tears, but steady. "He wanted access to your files. Your merger plans. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I swear I didn't." "And the illness?" he asked, voice cracking. "That part," she whispered, "was real." Daniel sat down heavily, the weight of betrayal crashing over him. He wanted to rage, to fire her again, to have her arrested. But instead he just stared at her, the woman who'd been both victim and traitor. "Why tell me now?" he asked. "Because," she said, voice barely audible, "you weren't supposed to care. And you did." Then she was gone. He sat there long after she left, her confession echoing like a ghost in the glass walls. Outside, the city pulsed, bright, heartless, endless. And in the reflection of the window, Daniel saw himself, not the billionaire who ruled boardrooms, but a man who'd been played by compassion, undone by trust. He picked up his phone, thumb hovering over James Cole's contact. Then, slowly, he smiled. The kind of smile that meant war. By the time morning came, one of them would lose everything, and it wouldn't be Daniel Holt.